I got royalty inside my DNA. I got cannabis, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. 死んだ天性 I was born like this, it's wild. Immaculate conception, I just never perform like this without you. A new weapon, I know I meditate on this that.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra! Hey guys, and welcome back to What If Naruto Was Madara's Reincarnation. Now the first part of the series exceeded my expectations a lot, and you guys went overboard and you seem to like this idea. So the like goal for the next part of this video is going to be like 90 likes. If you can get past 90 likes, I will put out part 3 as soon as possible. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get back into the story. So we left off with Naruto and Sakura and Sasuke basically getting the bells and basically passing Kakashi's test. So everything would play out normally, just like it did in canon with them doing D-rank missions. And Naruto, with his calm personality, he really doesn't complain about it because they still need time to grow as a team. Even Naruto ran this by Kakashi one time, saying that Kakashi Sakura needs to train more in taijutsu, because if it's ever a time to where we're in battle and we're in a desperate situation, what could she do? And Kakashi would take note of this because he's seen Sakura and most of her potential is either fawning over Sasuke or that basically it. She really didn't tell him much about herself, so he really doesn't have much to go on about Sakura. So Naruto is going to keep an eye on her, basically to see what she's capable of if they get a higher ranked mission. Even Naruto has been persuading Kakashi not to give them a higher ranked mission because he doesn't even think they're ready for that yet. Meaning that he doesn't think Sakura, a part of the team, is ready for a higher ranked mission because this world can be very cruel. And Naruto has come to learn to understand how the world is at this point in his lifetime. Naruto is 13 years old, so yeah, he has a good intuition about how the world is and what direction is going in. So with that, Naruto basically would just comply with doing the D-rank missions, and they would be doing D-rank missions for a while until Sasuke said something about it. The third Hokage, Hiruzen, was about to give the Team 7 another D-rank mission until Sasuke said something about how D-rank missions are not letting the team is not growing from doing D-rank missions. Of course, we can save a cat and do all these chores around the Leaf Village or do like little bit chores outside the village, but it's not doing anything for us. It's like keeping us in one spot. Naruto would agree to this and he would say, yeah, at this point I do think they're ready. Sakura has had some training. I've been keeping an eye on her training and making sure she kept focused on taijutsu. And most likely some genjutsu, but I just want her to be focused in combat too. I've been focusing on her training, so it should be okay for us to get a good decent mission, Hokage. Well, Lord Third. And Naruto would say this to the third Hokage, and Hiruzen would comply with this. He'd say that they're ready, and Kakashi would ask Kakashi, and Kakashi would even further agree. Now this is where the third Hokage would tell Hiruzen, well, not the third Hokage, Hiruzen. He would tell Tazuna to come in. Now Tazuna would walk in all drunk, and he would say, are these the 3 people that are protecting me? Yeah, they look like kids. So I'm really that low. Old man, you really got kids to protect me. This is where Naruto would walk up to him. He would say, listen, old man, you would be surprised at what we can do. You'd be surprised at what this generation of ninja can do. So don't doubt us just yet. You should keep your eyes open because you're in for a surprise. If anything goes wrong on this mission, then you will see us at our full capacity. But if everything goes right and we can escort you safely to the land of waves, then you should have nothing to worry about how weak or how strong we are. And then Naruto would turn around and walk back to his team. Now everything would play out normal. The team would get ready and get their stuff, and they would head out on their journey. Now, this is where Sasuke would be asking Naruto a lot of questions and saying how did he get his Sharingan to a mastery of level. And Naruto said he's been spending most of his time studying, training, and focusing in class. He's also had moderation, a lot of moderation. Naruto would look at Sasuke and say, this village was cruel. I really didn't have many friends. Most people that I considered trying to become my friends would either shun me away, turn their back on me, or give me the most angriest, nasty looking scowl on their face. So I kind of concealed myself. I really didn't care what people thought of me anymore. And at this point, I really don't. Because this world is cold, a cold place. And my childhood was even colder. Now Naruto would turn and look forward. All of a sudden, but Naruto would notice a puddle on the ground. And this is where Naruto would stop and he would activate his Sharingan. And he would tell them that, you guys, this is the weakest genjutsu I've ever seen in my life. Either come out or die. Now the demon brothers would fling out of the puddle and launch at Naruto. And this is where they would wrap their chains around Naruto and pull. Now, this was seeming as if it cut Naruto in half, but the Demon Brothers would be shocked that it was just a substitution. Now, Naruto would be right behind one of the brothers and stab them directly through the neck. Now, this is where Naruto would kill one of the Demon Brothers, and then he would throw a kunai with an explosive tag on it at the other. Now, he would block this, but he would be sad that his brother got killed. And all of a sudden, Naruto would appear right in front of him and put him in a genjutsu. And then he would ask him, so, who are you and what are your plans? My plans are to kill the bridge builder, Tazuna. Is that so? So what do you plan on doing with Tazuna? It's like I said, we are to capture and kill him. He's not allowed to build that bridge. This is a mission for my employer. And who is your employer? Gato. And this is where Naruto would say, thank you. Now, the guy would fall unconscious on the ground, and this is where Kakashi would be surprised that Naruto managed to take both of them out. He even managed to notice that the puddle was there very early on. So they would extract as much information out of the brother as much as he can, and then Naruto would execute him. Naruto would tell him that these two guys were trying to kill them. So it's only fair that they jump the gun on them. And plus, this life isn't easy. No one said this is going to be sunshine and rainbows. So you shouldn't be so shocked, Sakura. And she would look down and say, but they could have what? They could have redeemed themselves. They could have been less merciful. As if. There's no such thing as leniency in this world. Let's continue on. We have a mission to complete. Now, they would continue on. All of a sudden, Naruto would notice a white rabbit. And this is where Naruto would start to thinking that it's not winter, it's in the middle of spring, so why is the rabbit white? This is where a sword would come flinging at them. And Zabuza would be up in the tree. He would fling the sword at them, and he would be like, no wonder the Demon Brothers lost. I want to see how they dodge this attack. And he would fling the sword at the group. Now, this is where everyone would proceed to dodge. And then Naruto would activate his Sharingan, and he would catch the sword very easily and swing it around and throw it right back at the direction it came from. Now, Zabuza would catch his sword and land right in front of the group. And this is where the team would get into their battle stance. Now, Naruto would say, Zabuza Momochi, you are an S-ranked ninja. So this mission isn't as of what we thought it would be. Running into a guy like you, one of the 7 deadly swordsmen, it's highly, highly dangerous. So, Tazuna, would you like to care to explain why an S-class ninja, an S-class swordsman is after us? Tazuna would explain everything to the group, saying that his family is really poor and they really couldn't afford a higher ranked mission. A C-ranked mission was all they could get. And that was the best that they could get. Naruto said noted. So Kakashi Sensei, what level or what rank would this mission would be? If I were to guess, it would be somewhere around B or A. In that range. Alright. Hey Zabuza Momochi, would you like to dance with me? And Zabuza would be weirded out by this. All of a sudden, Naruto would be right in front of him and kick Zabuza directly in the stomach. Now, Zabuza would spit out blood, but then he would clench his sword and swing it at Naruto, to which Naruto dodged easily. Now Naruto would kick Zabuza back away from him, and he would pull out a scroll from his pocket, and he would cut open his thumb and wipe the blood over the scroll and then it would release. And then Naruto would have his gun by. I pronounced that wrong. If I botched that name, correct me in the comments. But it's the same tool that Obito and Madara used. The fan, Madara's fan, if you call it. So Naruto would be fighting against Zabuza with this, throwing like a lot of attacks with it. Wind style attacks and fire style attacks. Now, the first attack that Naruto uses is a wind style tornado, and he launches this at Zabuza, to which Zabuza tries to dodge easily as he could, but he ends up getting caught in one of them. Now, Naruto is above Zabuza, and he smacks him right down on the ground with his fan, creating a crater and a huge dust cloud. Now, Zabuza gets up from this, and he launches at Naruto in a fury. Now, both of them are getting into a taijutsu bout with each other. And Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke, they are very shocked at the level of skill that Naruto is emitting right now. Naruto is beyond being a genin right now. If Kakashi was to put him on a level, he would say that he's easily a Jonin. Easily a Jonin right now. Naruto's progression and level of skill right now, he's keeping up he's overpowering Zabuza. Zabuza is using everything in his arsenal, and he even went bonkers and went to his demon form. Like, not saying demon form, but he even went to the demon of the mist swordsman. He used his jutsu of the mist, and this is where Naruto would say, do you really think your mist will be any effective against me? Now, Zabuza would say, don't get cocky, brat. And he would swing his sword at Naruto, to which Naruto would dodge, and he would kick Zabuza directly in the face. Now, this is where Naruto would say, I don't just rely on my Sharingan, I rely on my senses as well. My senses, the sense of smell, the way the air feels, the way the current in the air feels. I spent years training to master that, to master all those traits. My eyes, my sense of smell, my sense of sight, my sense of hearing. You think you can be silent enough to where I can't hear you? You think I can't feel you as my foot lands on the earth? You're outmatched, Zabuza, and what you need to do is give up. I'm giving you a chance, an opportunity to not go down this path. But if you do, I will not be merciful. I'm letting you know that now. And Zabuza would scoff at Naruto, and the both of them would continue in their battle, to which it is even getting more one-sided as Naruto hit Zabuza to the ground, punched Zabuza up in the air, and shot a fireball at Zabuza, to which he sent him crashing through multiple trees. Now, Zabuza is heavily battle damaged at this point, and Naruto is unscathed with his Sharingan active. Now, Zabuza rushes at Naruto and swinging his sword like fast as hell, and Naruto is just dodging him easily, just moving easily. With his Sharingan, he can see Zabuza come at him before the attacks actually hit Naruto. So Zabuza is trying his hardest, and he's saying, why can't I hit you? What is going on? You're just a brat, a genin. You're not even on my level. How is this possible? Now, while Zabuza is getting frustrated, Naruto is just easily staying in his calm mind. Now, Naruto basically swipes Zabuza's sword out of his hand, basically counterattacking Zabuza and kicking the sword out of his hand. Now, this is where Naruto would do his own style of barrage and kick Zabuza up by his chin. Now, this is where Naruto would appear right behind Zabuza and start hitting him in his back multiple times, cracking his spine like multiple times. I'm telling you, Naruto is not being merciful. He's using everything in his arsenal to basically incapacitate Zabuza. So Naruto then hits Zabuza so hard that Zabuza falls to the ground and he cannot move. Now, this is where Naruto is standing over him, and grabs a kunai out of his pouch. And this is where Naruto would tell him that, I warned you. I gave you a choice, but you denied that choice, and now you will pay for it with your life. Now, as Naruto is getting ready to kill Zabuza, his hand would be catched by Kakashi, and he would say, what are you doing? This guy needs to die. And he would say, can you live with that? Can you honestly live with that on your conscience, Naruto? And he would snatch his hand away and slash it across Zabuza's neck. And he would say, I've already killed one guy today. I'm pretty sure a second one won't faze me. Now Zabuza is right there bleeding out, and Haku comes out of nowhere throwing multiple Senbon at Naruto, to which Naruto easily dodged with his Gunbai. Now, this is where Naruto would throw a huge wind gust at Haku and send him flying back. Now, Haku would use his speed and dash at Naruto, to which Naruto already has a Sharingan active and basically can see Haku coming before he actually lands a hit. Now, I can pretty much make this fight go out everlasting, but at this level right now, Naruto is basically too strong for Haku to even handle. I mean, of course, the boy got speed and he got his ice and everything, but I don't even see Naruto getting trapped by the demon ice mirrors. I see Naruto dealing with Haku very effective, very easily. He would incapacitate Haku, and then he would give him the same choice that he gave to Zabuza. And Haku would not comply. He would say that I was his tool and now I have no meaning in my life. And this is where Naruto would give a talk no jutsu, like a Madara / Naruto talk no jutsu. Then you should find meaning. Let me be your light. Let me be your guide. Let me guide you through this world. You say you don't have meaning, but let me help you find that meaning. This guy was an assassin, a ninja bent out on killing people. Is that something you want? You must have had a troubling history, a troubling backstory. Naruto would reach his hand out to Haku, hoping that the boy would take it. Haku would be hesitant, because Zabuza was the only thing that meant anything to him, like he saved his life. And Naruto would say, this guy saved your life but turned you into a tool. I will save your life right now and turn you into my friend. The choice is yours. Because if you go down the same route he went down, I'm telling you now, you're not gonna live to see tomorrow. Naruto's eyes are still in the Sharingan mode, and he's looking at Haku with a menacing look. But also, Haku could feel some genuine positive energy from Naruto. So he accepts Naruto's offer. And then Kakashi just basically does everything, and Haku basically gets roped up and stuff like that. Well, basically tied up, because the team just wants to be careful that he doesn't try anything out. Haku already says that even if I did try to do anything, this guy right here will stop me in an instant. So you can let me out of these ropes. I give you my word that I won't harm Tazuna or your team. Now, Kakashi unties Haku, and he was right. Didn't do any harm or nothing like that. So everything would play out per normal, and Tazuna would be building the bridge as usual, and even Naruto would stop the thugs from killing Inari's mom. So everything would just go out normal, and even Inari, when he yelled at Naruto, Naruto would walk up to Inari, pat him on the head, and he would tell Inari that, listen to me. I don't know what kind of troubles you had in your life. I don't know what kind of pain you went through, child. But I promise you, I make a promise to you that nothing will happen to you. This land of waves is under my protection. Your family is under my protection. And if you don't believe me, if Gato and his thugs show up, I will slaughter them all. That's a promise. And so just like I said, he killed the thugs that were trying to kill Inari and his mom and stuff like that. Now, this is where Gato and his thugs will show up at the bridge. Now, the rest of Team 7, Kakashi, Sasuke, Haku would step up. And they would be at the bridge with the rest of the clan behind them. And this is where Gato would say, who told you guys to finish this bridge? You owe me some money. And the rest of the thugs behind Gato would be laughing, saying, boss, can we cut him up? Can we kill him? No, I like to rape that girl over there. I like to see what she's got. And this is where Naruto would say, disgusting. A lot of you. People like you are a plague against this world. Naruto Sharingan would be blazing right now. And then Naruto would say, fire style, great fire annihilation. And he would shoot a fireball directly at them, scorching each and every one of them in flames. And they would scream out in agony. Now, this is where Naruto would make sure that he missed Gato. He would stab Gato directly through the stomach with his kunai. And this is where he would look Gato in the eyes and put him in a genjutsu. Genjutsu, an everlasting torture. Gato would be tortured so much that his mind would be broken in half and he would fall into a vegetable-like state. Now, this is where Naruto would basically throw Gato off the bridge into the water, as the rest of the people that were there just burnt to a crisp. And this is where Naruto would say, dust off his hands and say, now, I'm pretty sure you guys can live in like faith, like in fortune right now. I'm gonna go raid his vaults and everything and see how much money this guy had. I'm pretty sure he had a lot. So you guys can be well sustained for life and basically get your food and stuff and like that. So as Naruto would raid Gato's boss and bring all the money that Gato had back to the land of waves, they would be set for a lifetime because Gato was rich as fuck. So yeah, now the land of waves is rich as fuck. Anyway, so as we continue on, the land of waves, the bridge would be named the Great Naruto Bridge, just like in canon. So the team would make their way back, and now they have a +1. Now, according to everything, like Haku would basically be a Genin, because the third Hokage, Naruto would tell the story and everything, and the third Hokage would give Haku a Genin thing, but he would still have to go through all the Genin stuff. So everything would play out normal with that, and this is where 2 weeks later, Naruto spent training with Sasuke, trying to get him to unlock his his Sharingan, and Sasuke managed to unlock the one Tomoe, unlock his Sharingan, but it's basically just like it was in canon, 2 Tomoe in one eye and 1 Tomoe in the other eye. So Naruto's basically been training with Sasuke most likely and trying to unlock his Sharingan. He's also been training with Sakura and her taijutsu. He also gave her a few genjutsu tips and also told her that she might need to look in training with Lady Kurenai since that Jonin is more skilled in taijutsu. Well, not taijutsu, genjutsu. Now, Kakashi is wondering when the third Hokage is going to promote Naruto because he seems to be leagues above his Genin class. And the third Hokage would compliment this, saying that Naruto is leagues above them. So, this is 2 weeks later, and the tuning exams is arriving. Well, first off, we need to get to something that I need to cover. Now, this is where Konohamaru, when Team 7 got back to the village, he would run into Naruto, and Naruto would say, "Hey, Konohamaru, what's up? You told me you were going to teach me a new jutsu today." And Naruto would say, "Yeah, I did, but I just got back from my mission. So you're going to have to give me a minute to settle in. But if you really want to learn this jutsu and become stronger, I will train you. Just meet me at the training field in like an hour or so. I just need to get myself situated. And by the way, you're going to be training with me, Sasuke, and Sakura. We're all going to be training together. Isn't that right, Sakura?" And she would be nervous about this because she knows Naruto's training can be extremely hard and difficult, especially for her. And Naruto would say, "Don't worry, I'll take it easy on you. Just a little bit." Now, Konohamaru would run away, and Naruto would be just walking until Konohamaru bumped into Kankuro. Now, Kankuro would grab Konohamaru by the head, and this is where Kankuro would feel a slash that goes right across his hand. And this is where Kankuro would be caught by the neck and lifted into the air. He would, his hand would be around Naruto's hand would be around Kankuro's neck, and he would be lifted into the air with his Sharingan blazing. And he would squeeze tightly, telling Kankuro, "Do you want to dance with me? If you ever pick up the third Hokage's grandson like that again, I will snap your neck like a twig." And this is where he would throw Kankuro into Temari. And then Temari would proceed to pull out her fan, but then Gaara would appear out of nowhere saying, "You two are a disgrace. Stop." Then he would put his attention on Naruto. And Naruto would say, "Who are you three? You don't even look familiar. I haven't seen your faces in this village." Then Gaara would say that he's from the Sand Village and they're here for the tuning exams. And this is where Naruto would say tuning exams. So this whole thing is about a tuning exams, about getting ranked up. That explains a lot. Well, carry on. And make sure you keep your pets on a leash. And this is where Kankuro and Temari would have a vein in their head, and they would get angry by this. And Naruto would just smile at them. But then he would turn away and pick Kankuro up and brushing him off and say, "Are you okay?" And Kankuro would just yell out saying, "No, you big meanie." Because he's still a kid. You gotta admit that. He's still a kid, so yeah. Anyway, Kakashi would be talking, the Jonins would be talking to the third Hokage, and he would be getting ready to announce the tuning exams. So this is where all of the Jonin would go to their respective teams and tell them that they qualify for the tuning exams. But Kakashi would give his team a second way out. He would tell them that, "I've qualified you guys for the tuning exams, but you can back out if you want to." Everyone in the team would agree to being a part of the tuning exams. Now, everything 2 weeks later, their teams had enough time to train and everything, and this would be the day the tuning exam starts. Now, Naruto and them would make their way to the test site area. Now, they would bypass the genjutsu thing very easily. Very easily. With Sakura and Sasuke and Naruto right there, the genjutsu wasn't much for them. Now, this is where Rock Lee would come out of nowhere and he would challenge Naruto. He would most likely like to challenge Sasuke, but he's heard so much stuff from Naruto, so much accomplishments, and Naruto would respectfully decline Rock Lee's offer. And this is where Naruto would say that if you plan to fight me, you need to get stronger. I get that you're a taijutsu specialist. I can see that you don't really use ninjutsu, genjutsu, or stuff like anything like that. Probably because you don't got a specialty for it or something like that, or you just don't care to use it. Then Rock Lee would comply saying, I can't use genjutsu, I can't use ninjutsu, I can only use taijutsu. That's why I want the battle to be in a favor. But if you're giving your opponent with those handicaps, say for example, if I can't use any ninjutsu against you, or any genjutsu against you, do you really think the battle is still in your favor? And Rock Lee shakes his head, and then Naruto would just say, all right, I'll entertain you as much as I can. Now, this is where Rock Lee would speed up in front of Naruto, and Naruto would dodge one of Rock Lee's hands. And he would dodge this, basically Naruto is basically using his Sharingan because he wants to see just how fast Rock Lee is. And his speed can be useful in Naruto's training, and most likely his training with Sasuke. Now, Sasuke could benefit from doing this too. So that's why Naruto said to Sasuke to activate his Sharingan and pay close attention. Now, Naruto and Rock Lee would get into a huge fight with each other, but it would be one-sided because Naruto is outspeeding Rock Lee. Now, Rock Lee has his weights on. See, Rock Lee isn't at his full speed, but he's outspeeded and out-techniqued. Naruto spent years training, just like Rock Lee. Naruto has been spent years training, but he's not just been training. He's also been knowledgeable and learning different ways of taijutsu, learning different ways of ninjutsu, and learning different ways of genjutsu. So Naruto has got a big brain on him, and he knows easily how to break Rock Lee down. Easily. So upon that, when they were scuffling, Naruto managed to unravel Rock Lee's bandages and like hog tie him up on the ground. And this is where Rock Lee will be shocked by that, how Naruto managed to do that. And Naruto would say, it's easy. If you put your mind to it, you can do really anything. Now, you need to get stronger. If it was that easy for me to basically do this to you, I wonder how much experience you have in taijutsu. Now, this would come off as Naruto's mocking Rock Lee, but it's not necessarily that. It's just that Naruto's at a level to which he sees Rock Lee as not being strong enough to contend with him, if you get that. Anyway, so the team would make their way into class, and Naruto would answer all the questions easily without needing help, without even needing to observe. So upon to getting to the final question, the 10th question, is when everybody would leave, just like they did in canon, and the rest of the team would stay. Now, Uncle would come crashing into the window like a crackhead, and this is where, what's his name, man would tell her, you could have just used the door. And she would say, where's the fun in that? And then she would look at him and say, this is a lot of kids. Are you losing your touch? And then he would just tell her that this is a promising bunch, especially that one, that kid right there. And the both of them would be eyeing Naruto, to which Naruto is just basically looking out the window, just in his own world. Now, Uncle would tell the rest of them to follow her to the next test site. Now, the next test site would be the Forest of Death. And this is where everyone is at. Now, Naruto's basically looking around, and he would tell Sakura and Sasuke to be on their P's and Q's, because anything could happen in this forest. Anything. You could lose your life. Or, yeah, but probably that's just it. You could just lose your life. Now, Uncle would sling a kunai at Naruto for interrupting while she's talking, and Naruto would catch it and spin it around his finger. Now, Naruto would say, do you want me to throw it back? Because if I throw it back, it's going to pierce you in the leg. And Naruto would say this with a very straight face. Uncle would say, you're bluffing. Now, Naruto would just throw it at light speed at her, and it would just miss her leg. It would just cut through her leg. Not cut through it, just like nick. Something like that. And she would be like, ah. And Naruto would say, now, if I can do that, imagine if I actually aimed for your leg. Now, Uncle would just be shocked that this kid could do that, but she would also feel intimidated by Naruto. So she would just continue her gaze to the rest of the class. Now, she would hand some of the students a Heaven Scroll and some of the students an Earth Scroll, and she would go over giving them forms to sign so the Leaf isn't held responsible for any deaths that might happen in the Forest of Death. Now, with everything being explained as much as she could, their teams would journey into the Forest of Death. Now, Naruto would make it very easily. Him, Sasuke, and Sakura would gather their scrolls very easily. Now, once they're on their way to the tower, they would be ambushed by a female lady. And we all know who that female lady is. So the female lady would be trying to get Sasuke and Naruto, since the both of them are promising Uchiha boys. But really one he wants is Naruto. So right now Sasuke and Naruto are getting into a taijutsu battle with this female character. And it's seeming as if one-sided for them. Now Naruto basically is getting information, how this guy moves and everything. But the one giveaway that makes Naruto pinpoint who this guy is the giant snake that he's on. And this is where he gets into a battle stance and then says, "Fire style, great fire annihilation." And then fired up, Naruto jumped up in the air and said, "Fire style, 10,000 fireballs." Now this is where Naruto would create 10,000 small signature fireballs and shoot them at the female character fast as hell. Now Naruto came up with this jutsu, and this jutsu uses a lot of chakra, in which Naruto is half Uchiha, half Uzumaki. So yeah, Naruto has that much chakra to basically expunge like that. So as Orochimaru is getting hit with all these fireballs, this explosion of fire would happen. And this is where he tells Sakura and Sasuke that they need to run. So that both of them, they get out of there. And Naruto is standing right there throughout the fire as Orochimaru gets up. And this is where he looks at Naruto, and then Orochimaru says, "So you know who I am?" And Naruto says, "Indeed I do." The both of them continue their fight, and while the fight is getting more and more intense, Naruto tells Orochimaru that you have no chance against me. And Naruto kicks Orochimaru back and puts him in a genjutsu when Orochimaru looked in Naruto's eyes. And he was in a genjutsu to where he's seen his worst fear. And Orochimaru's worst fear was fighting Itachi over and over and over and over and over again. And Itachi kept putting him in the Tsukuyomi. So which Naruto jumped from Orochimaru, and he basically got out of dodge and got right back with his team, regrouped with his team. So everything would play out normal with that. Now the team would make their way back to the building, and now we get into the preliminaries as the rest of the teams manage to arrive. And that's where I'm going to end this video at for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought for anything about the video and stuff. But without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Good night, guys.
君の虜になってしまえばきっとこの夏は充実するのもっと噂の Dreaming が忘れないででも気持ちは伝えてしまえばいつかその夢は覚めてしまうんだろうな青い影が揺れる街角君の虜にな